We'll see how this goes. I've just recently reset my phone back to factory settings because I got tired of all the garbage that's on it, and now it's a million times faster. I am in Fort Smith, Arkansas. I'm traveling to Chicago, Illinois. The most undesired state in the planet. It gives me a general routing. It is it's 11 in the afternoon. I'm making this video because I have time. I'm actually not running on my 14-hour clock, which is a first in a long time, it seems like. So my first deviation is at spot number 1, where I hit my back roads to give me more direct line, more efficiency. And I should make it all the way to St. Louis tonight, which is good because that's where I live. Ka-ching! So, for everybody that's put my name in as a referral, I appreciate it. My family does too. Let's see, got steel bar. This is slightly over 30 feet long, and they put blocking actually in the center when the pieces get long enough, so I can do a belly wrap in the center as well. But in addition to the cloth 4-inch straps, there's a minimum required out of the yard here of 4 chains, no matter what the weight is, and it's a nice light load of. There's a truck behind me. I don't want to get hit. He's trying to figure out what to do. See, he's backing in and picking up a load. I delivered right across the street a load of steel bar. It's kind of an interesting story in the sense that, you know, for those that like to comment that this is where the windbag section starts, you can go ahead and go to a different channel, because now I'm just going to talk about stuff, and you probably don't like words, more of a visual person, so you might want to just check on out. But I started out here at Godow, delivered in Indiana, steel bar, similar to this, and picked up steel bar from that Godow in Indiana and brought it right back to this plant across the street. And now I'm here at the Mavericks facility picking up steel bar, going to Chicago. So a lot of steel bar in the last week. One thing you got to be careful, one thing to keep in mind when strapping is you don't want to cover up your lights, because that'll get you tickets. So, not that that's ever occurred to me, but it's just something you got to watch out for. Down to just 2 boards underneath here, which is fine. And so far, everything's been good. I'm actually kind of was able to wash my truck when I left the Madison yard, Madison, Illinois. When I pulled in on Friday, everything was closed up because it was like 2 degrees. I should say not everything was closed up. The truck wash was closed because of the frigid temperatures. Luckily, it warmed up to like 34 degrees when I left, and everything was open, so I was able to wash off a tremendous amount of salt buildup from the road. And what you can see on here now is what I've collected just from that drive down to here, because they were salting the roads like crazy yesterday, because the forecast for ice, let's see, what's the proper terminology? Precipitation that falls from the sky and turns to ice on the cold roads. That's what I call it. It's funny to some of the comments I get, though they are intended to be rude and insulting, I laugh because I'm amazed that people spend the time to do that kind of thing. I mean, who watches an entire video they dislike and then leaves a nice long comment at the end to tell you how much they disliked it? That's dedication. Yeah, that's about it. It's supposed to be a lot warmer this week, which is really good, because the start of last week was horrendous, as you can tell from my last video. Rescued by Power Service Diesel 911. The only reason I've gave positive reviews on it, because that's the first time I've ever had to use it, and it worked for me. I had gelled diesel. I can see it. It was like little marbles of diesel gelled up within the fuel filter. I can only imagine it was the same in my fuel tanks, but I threw that stuff in the way I followed the instructions on the back, and it worked great. So anyway, not much else to discuss other than I'm at the bar yard. I'm at the bar in Fort Smith, Arkansas, and there's not much else going on here. I had to I'm not sure if they're having Wi-Fi issues at this particular location, because they use a scanner device that links the barcodes off of the tags to their central computer system, so they can check you out, so they can complete your paper processing. I'd have to say they probably check me out every time I'm here. There's a lot of eyes up and down. I guess that's a requirement for forklift drivers. I don't know. I don't know if they watch this channel. If they do, please understand that as sarcasm. I'm not serious. There's a lot of people that take a lot of the things I say on here as completely serious, and oftentimes it's complete sarcasm, but it's so dry people don't realize that I'm not serious, which is a fault in their character, obviously. So we'll hit the road now. I've got, what do I got? I've got 8 hours and 45 minutes on my 14-hour clock, which is awesome, and 8 hours and 22 minutes on my 11-hour clock. That means I have basically 23 minutes to accomplish my... Wait a minute, that was going to sound wrong. I have 8 hours and 45 minutes in which to accomplish 8 hours and 22 minutes worth of driving. And the issue I'm at that cusp of the 8-hour window, because you required a 30-minute break. So I'm only going to drive 8 hours today, because sitting for half an hour does me no good to reset my clock. So that's why I'm stopping in St. Louis. This load doesn't deliver until 7 p.m. tomorrow evening, but I've been to this facility before, and hopefully I can arrive a little bit sooner. Well, I will be there sooner. Hopefully they can unload me quicker than expected. And it's on the easy side. It's in downtown Chicago, but this particular facility has two different particular entrances that they deliver at. One is what I call the manufacturing side, and then the other one is, I don't know, processing. And what I call the processing side is much easier to deliver at. There's more room to work with, and typically there's a lot less trucks. So, and they have parking available, which the other side does not. And luckily it's gated with security, because there's no way. I mean, there's a little grocery store, just to let you know how safe it is at this particular Chicago location. And this may just be typical of all grocery stores, a little fuel stop mini markets. You go inside and they're behind bulletproof casing. But from what I understand, there's some places that are outlying that bulletproof glass. Like it triggers too many people, and they find it offensive that you would think that there's dangerous people at these locations. That is like insane, that they would outlaw that kind of thing. And that's kind of an indication that you may want to no longer live there. As like in Illinois, many people are leaving. It's had a very large exodus of people this year, and I am on track to join them at some future date. So until then, everybody have a good day. Thumbs up if you liked the video. If you didn't, I'm not sure what you're still doing here, because this is the windbag section, and if you enjoyed the windbaggery, go ahead and leave a windbaggery comment.